It's the word, Vonnie EC. Another trucker. Fresh out the gym. Hold on. Yeah, fresh out the gym as always, man. This is the best time to get stuff off my mind. Juice is flowing. But pre-warning, it's gonna take me about a few minutes to get to the point on this video. But something I wanted to touch on, man. Something it's lightweight, but it's something I need to touch on a little bit. You know, one of the last videos I made, I think it was the video where I was talking about what was the name of the video, the trap of trucking. You know, I know in some parts that I can't even remember everything I was talking about, but I know in some parts in that video, you know, I was talking about the anticipation of autonomous trucks. And I had a couple people in the comment section, they in so many words, you know, they telling me I was thinking too hard, that I was bugging. And but they didn't say I was bugging, but in so many words, you know what I'm saying? Basically saying I was thinking too hard, I need to take a vacation. I need to take a vacation because I'm thinking too hard. And you know, I mean, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but just some key things that was said that just made me think that I wanted to touch on. And one lady, going according to the profile, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she told me that I was thinking too hard. I need to go to Jamaica, go smoke some ganja, relax. Autonomous trucks ain't no threat. I need to use discernment. I thought that was a funny post. I thought that was a funny comment. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I do talk about the autonomous trucks a lot. I do mention autonomous trucks a lot because I'm not really worried, but it's something I think about because I'm in this industry to where we've seen glimpses of this. No matter, you know what I'm saying, what we say about trucking, what's going on in trucking, man, I like trucking. This, you know what I'm saying? You come in with the right mindset and you make it do what it do, man. This is a solid field. This could be a solid field for a lot of people. I rock with it. So yeah, I'm thinking about things that can threaten the longevity of this industry, because I'm trying to get what I need to get up out of here. I'm trying to get as much as I can. It might take a little time. But yeah, you know, all in all, yeah, I don't, you know what I'm saying? The autonomous trucks, they, who knows when they coming? Yeah, they might not be here for a while, whatever. You know, but one thing that I know, man, I've been here long enough on this earth in my small amount of time to see a lot of things change. You know, we grew up, when I was a kid, we grew up watching the Jetsons. I don't know if any of y'all youngins know about that show, but the cartoons, the Jetsons, watching Star Wars, Star Trek, all these action movies, espionage movies with the different type of technology, all these cool gadgets and stuff. We working with a lot of that today. A lot of that stuff we seen that did not exist when we were shorties coming up, a lot of that stuff exists today. Look at what we communicating on. Look at what you watching me on. And look what I'm talking on. A phone. This was unheard of. We do everything through phones. Our whole life is basically centered within our phones today. Back in the day, I remember in the late 80s or the early 90s when my pops had one of them brick phones. You know what I'm saying? Them big block phones that the D-boys used to have. Now our whole life is centered. You can bank on the phone. You can invest on the phone. Now we got the AI. You can create on the phone. Man, come on, bro. So you could do everything on the phone. On a phone. On a phone, bro. It's like limitless. So in my time of being on this earth, seeing this, and then, you know, technology is steady growing exponentially, I can't help but to look into the future. You know, I done been caught slipping with my pants down, pause. You know, I done been caught slipping so many times with my pants down, so to speak, in life, that when you grow older and become wiser as a man, especially, you can't help but to start looking into the future. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no little boy. I don't look at things that's right in front of me all the time. You know what I'm saying? When you get to a certain point in life, it's not playtime no more. You have to start looking into the future. You have to start looking and be aware of everything around you. You know, it's this book. I don't know if anybody ever heard of it, but it's this book, and it's one of my best books in my little personal library. One of my standout books. It's a very important book, but the book is called Awakening the Master Masculine. It's a book written by this man named, for short, his name is Master Yao, but I think how you say his real name is Namaki Morris, if I'm saying that right, but Master Yao. You could look that book up. I don't even think it's on Amazon. Like, it's kind of hard to find, but if you want to look that book up, you can find it. But yeah, in that book, he talks about and breaks down the 4 components that make up a complete man. The 4 components, the 4 archetypes of a man: the hunter, the healer, the eagle, and the warrior. These are the 4 major components that make up a complete man. You know, the warrior is the protector side of a man. The man that'll fight. The man that'll protect. You know what I'm saying? The hunter is the man that provides, the man that goes out there and earns a living, the man that knows how to get the money. That's the hunter. The healer is the man that is the part of the man that's supposed to know how to nurture a woman, which is something a lot of us are disconnected from. But yes, we supposed to be healers too. Not on, you know what I'm saying? Like, sex is a part of healing too, but you know, we abuse that in today's time. That's a whole nother topic, but being a healer is part of manhood too. The woman nurture the child, the man, he gotta be there to help nurture the woman. Yeah, we supposed to be nurturers too in some ways. It's a whole nother story. And then you got the eagle. What is the eagle part of the man? The eagle part of the man is the man that's supposed to be able to see into the future. The man, the part of the man that sits on the mountaintop and can see everything going on and see what's coming. So I got my eagle on. At this point in time in my life, I got my eagle on. And you know, with these 4 archetypes, everybody, we're not born with all these archetypes intact. Some people might be born with their warrior archetype on. This person might be born with his hunter archetype on. He might, you know what I'm saying, grew up a hustler, but don't got no eagle vision. He never knew what to do with his money. You know what I'm saying? Or this person might, you know what I'm saying, this person might only have his healing archetype on. You know, he's not consistent with keeping a job, getting money, can't do nothing else, but he can lay some good wood down. You know what I'm saying? The stuff like that. But most of us, we don't have all our archetypes on at one place or on at one time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we don't have our eagle vision on, especially in trucking. Period in life, but especially in trucking. So I got my eagle vision on. I can't help but to look into the future and anticipate what's coming. You know, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying, the people who made them comments, like, it ain't nothing, but I just thought it was funny because, you know, they mentioned that I need to take a vacation because I'm thinking too hard. Let me tell people something, man, for real. A man or any person, a man or a woman, but I'm speaking from a man's perspective, especially a man with a plan, a vision, and is living his life according to purpose will always have a lot on his mind. Always. Taking a vacation is not going to solve that. I travel a lot. And guess what I'm doing when I'm traveling, when I'm out the country or wherever I'm at in the country? I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get back home. I can't help it. I was just in Florida last week kicking it. Miami, Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale. That's what I was thinking about what I'm gonna do when I get back home. All the times that I be kicking in Brazil and Rio. A lot of times on my last day, you know what I'm saying, the last day I'm catching my flight, because a lot of times I always catch my flights at night. I go to the beach early in that day, kick it, have my last little sip or something, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Kick it for a little minute, but I'm always thinking and planning about what I'm gonna do when I get home. You know, they say, the saying has been, a lot of people have said this, you know, yeah, you know, when men go to Brazil for their first time, they have such a great time that they leave Brazil crying on the plane. Because whatever women they might have dealt with, they never had that kind of treatment before. Hey, I'm gonna be honest, man, I ain't never felt that. When I'm on the plane, coming from wherever I'm coming from, I'm inspired to get back home, to turn up on my grind. So taking a vacation is not gonna help me. Taking a vacation is not gonna clear my mind. You know what I'm saying? If anything, vacations, all they do is make me think even more and harder about, okay, yeah, you enjoying a little bit in the moment, but when all the times that I travel, I'm always experiencing fly things, seeing things that like, man, I want access to this all the time. I want to be able to travel here all the time. I want to get me a spot out here all the time. So now I'm thinking what I'm going to do when I get back home, how I'm going to turn up my grind, how I'm going to tweak this, how I'm going to tweak that. There's no such thing as thinking too hard. Well, to a degree, you know what I'm saying? To a degree, in some instances it is. But like I say, a person, a man especially, that's living his life according to purpose and got a plan and a vision, he always gonna have stuff on his mind. So for me personally, it ain't no such thing as me sticking my head in the sand and waiting for things to happen. That ain't what I'm pushing over here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, shout out to those people, but I just had to make that note. But yeah, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe I do sound like a 10-4 hatter. You know what I'm saying? With talking about the autonomous trucks and, you know what I'm saying? You know, but that's just how I think. That's just me. Get to a point in life to where it's like, all right, man, I can't, as a grown man, I can't continue to keep living life getting caught in the cold. And a lot of times when people get relaxed with things and thinking things can't happen, that's when they happen. People always wait to the last minute to get serious, especially in our community, the black community. I remember when COVID first hit. The first stories of COVID, it was just affecting everybody else, all white people, these ethnic background of people. It wasn't, supposedly the first stories that was coming out, they had nothing to do with black people. And black people was on the internet, well, they ain't got nothing to do with us. But yeah, I've seen people on social media, not necessarily celebrating, but yeah, they ain't got nothing to do with us. That's them. And then when COVID started hitting black people, we the ones that's doing the most panicking. You know what I'm saying? So just lessons that I learned in life. I'm out of that mode of sitting around waiting for things to happen. You know, I should be rich by now. I should have been invested in Amazon. Should have been invested in Apple. You know what I'm saying? Years ago. But we weren't thinking about it. Or I wasn't thinking about it. Because I couldn't see the future. I'm so busy thinking about right now. I can't see nothing. I'm thinking about right now. But no hard feelings, though. I just had to get that out the way, man. They talking about I need to go to Jamaica and get high and relax. I thought that's funny, man. That's a bury your head in the sand approach, if you ask me. But anyway, if I was to work for the Russians, I'd be running it up. And the reason why I mentioned that, because this has been a big topic as of lately. Across the board on social media in this trucking space, working for the Russians. Hear a lot. I never worked for the Russians. I don't know nothing about working for them. You know what I'm saying? I just go by what I hear. What with what people were saying and talking about today. And it's a big topic. It's a real huge topic across the trucking industry. The Russians is like they own division of trucking, it seemed like to me. They got their own operation going on over there. And what it seems like to me, their business model, I'm not saying that they're necessarily preying on people that's in desperation, but their business model seem like, from what I'm hearing, it shows set up to benefit people that's in desperation. You know what I'm saying? People that got stains on their CDLs that's in desperation. And I don't knock it. I don't knock it because I was once in a position of desperation. When I got fired from Swift, I was desperate. I would have did anything to get back in the rig. Well, not anything, but you know what I'm saying. I was thirsty to get back in the rig, man. It devastated me. You know what I'm saying? To get fired, man. It devastated me. Like, damn. I filled out applications for 30 companies. Nobody would touch me. And man, I was so fortunate and blessed to be able to get on with Stericycle, you know, doing hazmat box truck. I'm so thankful for that. This is why on my channel, I don't, you know, I might talk about stories of certain situations that I've experienced with different companies, the companies that I work with, but I don't never bash companies. Every company that I worked for in my career, they all played a pivotal part in my progress up until now. Every single one. And they all was important. If it wasn't for Stericycle, I wouldn't have my hazmat, because I didn't want to do hazmat when I first came into the industry. I was afraid of hazmat. Afraid of doing, never thought like, oh, I want liquid tanker. I don't want to be carrying nothing that's moving. Then you got to be going up and down these mountains. I was terrified of that. Now we all through West Virginia. Truck rocking, body rocking, shaking, liquid moving. We doing it. But before I didn't want to do it, so I appreciate Stericycle. I appreciate working for Food Line. I appreciate the company that I'm with now. I appreciate it all. That's probably why I ain't never been so messed up. I'm not saying that my journey been perfect, but I never really been down, just down to where I had to ask people to help me out in trucking, because I just came into trucking with a certain frame of mind, and you know, I realized just, you know, the energy that I put out has always came back to me. So whatever. But yeah, you know, when I got fired from Swift, man, if a Russian company would have hired me, if Super Ego was around, yes, I would have been running with Super Ego. If Super Ego, because I got fired from Swift in 2017, October. Super Ego wasn't around then. I don't think Super Ego was around until like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? I think they started up in 21, 22, something like that. But they wasn't around when I got fired from Swift. So if Super Ego was around, yes, I would have been on board, running. All the stuff that people saying that these drivers is doing illegally with these Russian companies, I would have been doing it. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I would have did a lease. I don't know if I would have did no lease, man. Because I knew from the gate that ain't doing the lease, that ain't what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. So I don't know if I would have did a lease. Maybe I would have just did company. And see, the thing is, I'm just going off what I hear about these Russian companies, man. I hear good things, I hear bad things. I guess it all depends on who you're talking to. But if I would have been a company driver for a Russian company, man, it wouldn't have really made no difference, because I was never looking at, to a degree, I wasn't looking at, I mean, you want to run as many miles as you can legally in a week. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're working all cents per mile. I'm pretty sure if Super Ego was around, or whatever Russian company would have gave me a shot during the time I got fired from Swift, I'm pretty sure if it was a Russian company around that would have gave me a shot, I would have probably thought that Russian company was better than working for Swift. Because when I was working, them 5 months I was working for Swift, man, I wasn't making no money. I wasn't making no money. My first, month and a half being in training, month and a half with a trainer, I definitely wasn't making no money. What, $100 and some change a week? That's a bag of chips and a juice. You know what I'm saying? Then even once I got on my own, man, I wasn't making no consistent good money. I think the most money, the best check I had probably was like an $800 check. Other than that, it's like twos, threes, twos and fews here and there. Trying to get in the swing of things, you know. And I just remained patient, and they seen my work ethic and offered me a dedicated account. That's right before I got fired. I got a dedicated Costco account. And you know what? Even I'm at where I'm at now, I'm so far away from that, but I still wish I could have worked for Swift over the road longer. I wish I could have at least did a year or two with them to get that full OTR experience. Even though I feel like I've gotten it, but it was fun. Working for Swift was fun. Being a new driver, it was frustrating. You know, it's a learning curve, you learning, but it still was fun to me. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked at the 5 months that I was with Swift, I stacked up a little paper. $3,500 wasn't bad for not getting paid nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think about, what if I would have been able to be consistently driving OTR with no interruptions? I guarantee you I would have had way more money coming into getting my own truck within the time I did than working OTR for 5 years than I would have with the journey that I went through. You know what I'm saying? If I would have just stayed straight OTR from day one, 5 years, stacking up all my bread. Oh man, what? Come on, dog. Yeah, I was stacking up everything when I worked for Swift. $3,500. I mean, yeah, $3,500 in the grand scheme of things ain't nothing to talk about. But when I look at what I was getting, I think we still like in the 30 cents per mile. I started making I think I went up to 54 cents when I got the dedicated account. And that was easy to calculate. I'm just like, okay, well, if I do 3,000 miles roundabout, that's $1,500. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't even, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, so even if I would have got on with a Russian company, after I got fired with Swift, I think I still would have made, you know what I'm saying? I still would have made money compared to what I was making in Swift. I still would have been able to make it work. Because my whole mentality at that time was OTR, forget society. I didn't care about nothing when I came in the truck, and I got rid and wiped everything away. I didn't care about no social events. I didn't care about no bras. I didn't care about getting fresh. I didn't care about nothing. I'm finna go OTR and stack this bread. I didn't have no bills, no mortgage, no rent, no car, no nothing. That was my mentality when I came in. So really, it wouldn't have mattered who I would have went with. Now, I hear that, you know, some people run it up with some of these Russian companies. I you know, just from what I've been seeing, some people say some Russian companies is cool. And a lot of them got a system set up that a lot of drivers can't outmaneuver the system or play the game right, to where they always ended up in the hole. So I don't know. I guess it's all about who you talk to. But it's a big topic, and I think about it because it's easy for me from where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And to sit on a high horse and judge other people for decisions that they make in trucking, especially with the Russians, you know what I'm saying, doing lease, whatever. I humble myself and just think about the time when I was in desperation, because it seemed like a lot of these Russian companies, their company is friendly, and they welcome, they have an open door thing for, you know, drivers out here looking for a second chance, drivers that might be under the SAP program, drivers that got stains on their records, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. They have a, you know, they welcome, they're friendly towards drivers who's looking for a second chance. But from what it, you know what I'm saying, from what it sounded like, some of these drivers, it's like they ended up with somebody's elbow in their back at different points of time. The stuff you hear. So I don't know, man. All I can say is if I ever worked for the Russians, I would have been running it up illegally. All the stuff that they, I would have been doing it too. I would have been doing it too. If I'm sitting up here, if I'm keeping it real with myself, shit, who knows? I probably would have made, if I would have worked for the Russians, all the way from the time I got fired from Swift to the time I decided to go get my own truck, who knows? I probably would have had well over 6 figures stacked up. Because I wouldn't have cared, you know what I'm saying? But when I got fired from Swift, I got on with Stericycle. Stericycle, I was doing local, regional, Monday through Friday. I got a, you know what I'm saying? Now I got a regular working schedule, Monday through Friday, weekends off. So what's gonna happen after a while? You at home, you down and around. Things is happening. Now you getting back in the groove. Now you kicking it with chicks. Now you worrying about getting fresh. Now you going out to eat. Now you going to do this. Now you spending money. You know what I'm saying? Which was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, my little trucking career, my little over 8 years has been a little colorful. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little ride in the journey, but I wish I could have stayed OTR, to be honest with you. I wish I could have stayed OTR. Because it was so easy to stack bread up. See, my experience when you at home, because like I said, when I first came into this industry, I did not care about nothing. I wiped all that away. I started trucking when I was 34 years old, man. Like, it wasn't nothing more than I really needed at that time, man. Like, as far as like females and shit like that, been there, done that. Or at least up to that point, done enough in my life to where I feel like I didn't, all that can be put to the side. I gotta focus on this now. I had enough fun. So I didn't care about nothing. I came into trucking like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first Terminator, butt naked. Y'all ever seen that? The first Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger appeared on planet Earth, butt naked, on his mission. That's exactly how I came into trucking. That's exactly how I came into trucking, so to speak. Wasn't playing no games. Never was playing no games. But you know, sometimes things can happen. You can have things planned all you want, and you just gotta adjust with the circumstances that happen out of your control sometimes, or whatever the case may be. But all I'm saying is, once again, whatever your goals and your plans is, you should always have them. You should always have goals. You should always have plans being out here. That way you getting the most out of whatever situation that you in, whether you working for the Russians, no matter who you working for. It don't matter what your goals is, as long as you got something you aiming for. Then once you knock out one goal, you set the next one. Then after you knock that one out, you set the next one. Man, you gotta make it purposeful out here. Can't just be out here, man, letting everybody scrape cream off your back and you ain't getting nothing. You just out here willy-nilly. Like, that ain't it. That's not it. People do whatever they want to do in trucking. But as a human, seeing another human out here in this trucking industry suffering, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the whole, I keep repeating the same thing, having a plan, having goals. Because my goals, I knew that I was going to get my own truck, period. Some of the small things that I've accomplished in my journey since I've been on trucking, these was all things that I had in my mind from when I first came into trucking. And some of these things been accomplished. And one of the major things was, as far as trucking goes, yes, was getting my own truck. We did that. You know what I'm saying? We still out here in the trenches. It's still a journey. We still, you know what I'm saying? We still learning. You know what I'm saying? But I done accomplished that. So, and my plans didn't go the way that I wanted them to go. I wanted to stay OTR. Man, I was devastated when I got fired from Swift. Man, I was in dead. Hey, my time with Swift was fun. That OTR experience, it was fun, bro. I was having a ball. Like, I didn't have a chance to have broads in different area codes like some of y'all. I didn't have that. I didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, what it seems like when you doing dry van or refrigerated, it's like for some reason y'all got more sitting time. More sitting time, more 34-hour resets or whatever. Y'all, it just seems like y'all got way more sitting times in different places. Once I got fired from Swift, and it just seemed like from then on, I've been on a specialized route. Stair cycle got my hazmat. Food liner. Start doing pneumatic trailers. Then boom, put it together. Now we doing hazmat tankers. You know what I'm saying? So my route, most of my journey in trucking, it has been on a specialized journey. I didn't ask for that. It's just how it happened. You know what I mean? That's not what I wanted to happen, but I wouldn't take it back for nothing now. I appreciate where I'm at. I value where I'm at. But still, you know, I ain't had a chance to live that real OTR life. I mean, I still feel like I'm OTR in a sense, because I'm still willing to go the distance. Hey, if I got to stay out, it is what it is. When things don't go my way, I don't complain. You know, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, man, I don't think it matters where you go. Just plain and simple, dog. If you got a plan and you know what you coming in this for, other than just chasing money, because you could be out here chasing a bag. You could be out here, I'm finna go in the truck and I'm just gonna chase a bag. You don't consider nothing else. You can wind up in a bag trying to chase a bag in this trucking. You know what I'm saying? So have a plan, dog, because if you got it, like I always say, if you got a plan, you're gonna be bulletproof towards anything outside of you, outside of what you can control. My journey didn't go the way that I wanted to, but I still ended up executing the things that I wanted to execute. When you stick to when you write your script and you stick to it, can't nothing penetrate that. So it didn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if a Russian company would have picked me up after Swift, yes, I would have been running hard, and probably would have had way more papers stacked up, because I wouldn't care. I did not care about coming home. I remember one time when I worked for Swift, my dispatcher had to like kind of force me to come home one time. I was out there. I probably was out there for like a month. She was like, you don't want to come? You don't want to come home? You know what? I'm gonna set it up for you to come home. You need to take a break. She was cool too. She was cool. She was a cool dispatcher, but she had to fire me too. She had to walk me to that office and fire me. And you know what's funny? Years later, this was probably like a couple years ago, I had to catch an Uber one time. I had parked my truck somewhere not too far from the crib, and I had to catch an Uber to go to my truck. And she was the one who picked me up. I never brought it. I never brought it up too. I don't even think she remembered who I was. Or maybe she did remember who I was, but she was cool. You know what I'm saying? We were conversating, talking, but I never brought it up. Like, yeah, you remember you fired me? Remember that? No. But yeah, man, I was serious. I didn't care about coming home. I knew I was gonna have a life one day. You know what I'm saying? No, I didn't come in the truck and just looking to give away my life forever. But I knew sometimes, man, when you anything in life, not just with trucking, man, you have to be willing to get down and dirty for a certain amount of time, so you can make the rest of your time whatever easier. You know what I'm saying? I already knew this coming into trucking. Like, yeah, it's gonna be down and dirty. Yes, these companies they gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some pimping going on. I'm gonna be out here running on the blade. I already knew that. I knew I wasn't gonna have no life. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't gonna have no consistent action in females. I knew all this, and I was willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Life has gotten better, but we still on the grind. But at some point in time, man, you have to buckle down and sacrifice. So if you gotta work, you know what I'm saying? If you whatever route you gotta take in trucking, if it's working for the Russians, since the Russians is the boogeyman right now, I mean, hey, you gotta make it work for you. Because even if I had to work for the Russians, everything I can't, the things that I accomplished so far, they would have still got accomplished. Period. No matter which way. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. You know, I don't knock people working for the Russians, because I would have had to work. If they would have picked me up, I would have went with them too. Because I know what it feel like to be in a position of desperation and looking for a second chance. Because I felt like that when I got fired from Swift. Nobody would touch me. I felt like it was over. Like, damn, man, I didn't come into trucking. I took this whole thing in. That shit, you know what I'm saying? It kind of bothered my spirit a little bit. So, have a plan, man, and your plan having a plan and sticking to it is gonna protect you out here. But you ain't got no focus. You ain't got no goals. You're not moving in an organized manner out here. You're just gonna be another one of these drivers getting swept up in the wind. So that's on you. Do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here to tell nobody what to do with their money or none of that, but you hear so many horror stories about what be going on in trucking, and for me, what I put together a lot of people don't be having no real focus out here. A lot of people, especially these days, after, you know, now that the trucking industry has been blown open to everybody think there's some type of lick. Everybody think trucking is some type of hustle. They think they just finna just come in and just make it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stick my toe in here and come up out here with a bag. Like, all right, you can, but do you got the discipline to do that? Because a lot of people think they gonna come into trucking. I'm only gonna do trucking for a couple of years and I'm gonna stack up this amount of money. It's possible, but do you got a discipline? Because a lot of people, they come up in here, they get caught up, they get swept. So, and years that went by, you didn't gave up all your time and accomplished nothing. No, I'm not in agreement with that. This is a tough industry. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for those of us who mentally can acclimate to this industry, it's easy peasy for us. We cool with it. We at peace with it. But in general, this is a tough industry, family. It's tough. Ain't no point in even being out here if you ain't working towards something. Whatever it is, it can be whatever. Investing, or you might have been homeless. Okay, I need to get me a car. Boom. Then I need to go get me a house. Boom. I need to go get, you know what I'm saying? You might just be out here in trucking just to create the basics for yourself. I need to go get me a car. I need to go get me a place to stay. And need to go get my wardrobe up, clean myself up. Whatever the case may be, you just gotta have, you gotta be organized out here, man. Straight up. So, man, I'm sorry this video is so long. But people be saying they appreciate these long videos. I be trying to make them shorter, but I had to get that off. So, hey, man, whatever it is you're doing, good luck to you, and much success to you. Vonnie C. Gone.